Hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Yu Wing. You can call me Yu Win or Win, and I'm happy that we get to share this time together. So I like to start my videos off with a practice. So I wanted to share one. We might not be able to do it together, but if you have done any parts work, so including any inner child work, any work with your ego, or really just different parts. One of the things that I will do is I will, in meditation, have a meeting with some of the leaders out of the parts. So, the way that I've done this in the past is I've met with my inner child, my ego, and my higher self. And so I will ask each one to share how they're doing, and I'll tune in and listen. And then I'll ask them what they need or what um, might support them, um, let's say for that day. And I just tune in and I listen. And it was a way for me to kind of neutralize the hold that my ego had on a lot of my like interactions and reactions at that time in my life. And so when I have a chance, I'll bring them together. Um, and I think it was just a really nice way for me to feel aligned and attuned. And so if you haven't heard of parts work, you might want to check out internal family systems. I'll go ahead and link that down below in the video notes. But it's really interesting. It's really fascinating, and it's been helpful on my journey. And I have recently discovered that I have an inner teenager that I need to spend some more time with, and I can tend to ignore or not ignore, but kind of forget my inner child. And so that doesn't have good consequences. So I've been talking to some dear souls about their experiences, and it's just reminding me of this practice. And so I just wanted to share with you. So if it's something you might be interested in, see how it goes, explore. If not, go ahead and leave it here. But thank you for your consideration and a possible another tool for you. So, for today's video, I want to talk a little bit. I was thinking about this as I was pondering what to speak about. And I think one of the aspects of exploring spirituality for me over the years is finding someone with whom I feel connected to or who I feel like I can relate to, especially as I'm learning about different topics and different areas. And I think a huge part of this is like shared life experiences and sometimes shared language, even if it's the jargon or, concepts and those things that people share. And it was always really difficult. And especially as I've gotten older, I feel like there's a couple of things happening. One, I may be more trusting of myself and the experiences and trusting of the ability that I have to figure it out. Or as I've gotten older, it feels harder to connect with people who are sharing or who I'm coming across or who's being referred to me. And so I think I bring this up because, I hope that you are exploring and finding different venues and different channels and different books and podcasts and voices that align with where you are at, who you want to become. And I hope that you don't feel like you're alone as you explore, right? And I think that's one of the most wonderful things out of this information age is having access to so many different people and so much information that we did not have, right? And even to be able to build communities virtually that we couldn't before, and to find out that somebody else, had a similar experience and you're not alone, right? I think maybe I just grew up in a different time and, came to my spiritual journey in a different time and way. And it's still challenging for me to find people, teachers, um, who sort of embody all of the pieces. I think sometimes the purely spiritual might not have enough grounding in the physical reality for me, and some of the things that I'm aware of. And I think being outside of the majority, even when it comes to, that society's blueprint or checklist, I think that's a struggle. Um, and so I was just thinking, one of the things that I'm really grateful for on my journey is that even though I've always had this spiritual inclination and this idealism and this romanticism, thank you, Pisces Sun, I have also been very grounded in meeting and working alongside people who have had very difficult circumstances and experiences and situations, and knowing and being able to witness what they've gone through and their journeys, and to hear their hopes and their dreams and their fears has kept me connected to humanity. And especially the people who are pushed to the outskirts, who are often ignored or forgotten because some people can't relate to them. And especially, like youth development work, just seeing so many young people come through and working in behavioral health or mental health. I feel like those experiences paired with source, paired with soul connections, paired with the power of the mind. From this vantage point, I'm really seeing the balance of the ideal with the physical, of the spiritual with the mental or emotional and or emotional. And I really appreciate having my foot in both of these worlds. I often feel like I'm not quite of one space. I think maybe other people who have been raised in bicultural households or situations may feel this way. I think when I was younger, I was more aware of, and probably just more self conscious because of developmental things, but Just aware of like, oh, I don't fit this, and but I don't fit this. And this will probably come up when I talk about being bilingual. Thank you for the question, E. Dawsonable. Still working on it. I think that as I am getting to this point in my journey, I'm seeing the benefits of both, and figuring out how to balance that has been really important to me. So I'm hoping that it's translating in these videos that I'm sharing, right? That I can talk about being on a twin soul journey, but I can also talk about, mental health conditions that may impact that, or, systems that may make it difficult to manifest, um, some of our dreams and some of our desires, and how to navigate, all of that and still somehow believe or hope that it's all working out for our highest good. And somehow going through what I've gone through and hearing and experiencing and witnessing what other people have experienced too, somehow I'm still soft. Somehow I'm still hopeful, and I I wouldn't trade it. And I used to be so afraid. I probably used to put on armor at some point in my 20s or my 30s, when people would be like, you're too idealistic, or like, yeah, not everything is sunshine and rainbows. And I would just be like, okay. Um, but those were probably the hardest years, and the years where I was the most unwell, and I was burnt out, and I was taking it out on people without realizing it. So I do apologize if you were someone who I came across and did not have the capacity to be like, get out of my way, I have to get everything done. Um, when I sort of gave up that part of me, or tried to hide that part of me, it had consequences, in addition to how I was just pouring myself into work, and just trying to do what was never possible to do as one person in a system that was built to um, wear us out. And so, all of that to say is that I hope you continue to explore, and you find people that you connect with, you find teachers and channels and content creators, or books and things that really resonate with you and help you to feel like you can be yourself in wherever you are on this journey. That you can really come home to yourself, your true self, your essence. And so I do hope that you know, or that you will soon come to believe, that who you are, exactly as you are, is worthy and deserving of unconditional love. Thank you for spending this time with me. I look forward to connecting with you next time. And until then, please take good care. Okay, bye bye.